neviem, ten koment tam taký, že neviem, jak sa pomenuje toto, neviem, jak sa pomenuje toto, proste keď už to chceš robiť, tak musíš sa naučiť proste.
However, my roommate and I put in a flex wall to make it a 2-bedroom apartment. We'll get into it. First thing, right off the entryway, we have this very large communal closet. My roommate is actually out of town, so it's empty right now, but that's the first closet, and it's a big one. Next little thing that we have here is this table. So we're all about functionality in this household. This one actually, I'm not gonna do it right now, but it doubles in size, if you will. We move this into the kitchen if we have extra people over to play drinking games, you know, things that kids get up to. So that's what we have here, but most of the time we just kind of leave it as an entryway table. We put our keys here, little decorations that are definitely always there. Moving into the living space, we have this futon. Like I said, we're all about functionality in this house. So this folds out to be twice the size. We have had people sleep on it before. What was it, $120 from Amazon? I'll link all this stuff down below. Moving into the kitchen. I actually really like this kitchen. We have a ton of storage. These are all...
Takže kuchynka fajn, no. Takže pomerne celkom dobrá. Čiže úplne taká malá, praktická. Docela máš aj veľký odkladací priestor, to je za mňa super.
As you can see, we have pots and pans. These are all soft closed doors, so you don't hear a thing. Lots and lots of storage, and they go up really high. Helps that I'm tall, I can reach the top shelves. We have gas burning stoves, which I'm personally a fan of. In college, I did have some electric ones, and they were not as good. Large refrigerator, or I don't know if it's large, it's a normal size refrigerator. Normal size refrigerator, freezer, oven, and then something that is not in every New York City apartment, a dishwasher. Absolutely love it. What else? A couple more little things. We have these ottomans, which actually can hold, I think it was up to 50 pounds. We got them on Amazon. So we use
120.
120?
Mm-hmm.
120 pounds.
No, 140, because I could stand on them, so.
140 pounds, and we use them as step stools a lot of the time. They also double as kind of storage bins. So once again, functionality. And back to the flex wall, this is something that we constructed on our own. It took some doing, but it is how we're able to make this into a 2-bedroom instead of a really large 1-bedroom. All right, I get a lot of questions about my flex wall. Did we put it up ourselves? Is it legal?
Platí 1875 na Manhattane? To je dobré, ty kokos, celkom.
Legal in New York City, etc. So a little word on flex walls. There are 3 main types. The first one is called a pressurized wall, which are ones that go all the way up to the ceiling, and it basically looks like the room was meant to be there and that it was built into the apartment in the first place. These are still installed without screws or nails though, so in theory it will not leave a mark on the walls when you take it down. Second, there are partial walls, which are very similar to pressurized walls in that they're installed without screws and nails, but they don't go all the way to the ceiling. They'll come short about a foot or something like that. So it's not the best option for privacy purposes, but there are still a ton of use cases for partial walls. And then the third are bookshelf walls, which, as the name suggests, are not really walls.
Tie veci ma tak nebavia.
Have this other large bedroom. So this is what the flex wall looked like beforehand, before we put that white sheet on out there. It's kind of this pinky color, it's foam, so it actually helps with the sound a little bit, but you know, torture chamber vibes a little bit. Some bookshelves to have storage. Because this was originally the living space, there's not a built-in closet in this room, so that's kind of why we wanted to use bookshelves or bookcases as the wall. Lots of storage there. And then the view here is amazing as well. It's actually...
Ale akože výhľad má extrémny, ty kokos. Akože to má riadny výhľad, ale vieš, že proste rovno ti vidia všetci a susedia proste do izby, tak to tiež nie je akože boh vie, že. Akože keby tu neboli asi tie mrakodrapy, tak ako pohoda, ale vieš, že máš proste krásny výhľad na vodu.
On a corner, just like my bedroom. I like the way the building is kind of cut L's. Do you know what I mean? So you get more corner bedrooms. Anyway, that's actually my bedroom right across the way, and we're gonna go take a look. Here in the hallway, we have one of New York City's biggest luxury amenities, laundry in unit. Absolutely love having this. Like I said, that is really not the case.
No je strašná výhoda, keď mať proste práčku a sušičku v byte, lebo inak by si musel chodiť proste do tých mestských laundry, čo sú. A akože tí Američania sú na to zvyknutí, my Európania až tak nie, vieš. Ale je to strašná výhoda, pretože pri veľa tých rôznych bytovek, možno, že už teraz tie modernejšie to už majú, ale tie staršie bytovky napríklad, tak tie vôbec to nemajú. Vôbec oni proste nemajú spravené stupačky na ten vývod proste z tých pračiek a sušičiek a tak.
For New York
Akože
City and
tie
a lot of
odpadové rúry
apartments, so
nemajú.
it's very nice to have. Next we have this other large closet in the hallway. It's the one that my roommate uses because, like I said, that second bedroom, which was originally the living space, does not have a built-in closet, so she uses this one as her main one. All of these are so tall, like they go all the way up there. I don't know if you can tell. Moving along into the bathroom. This is the bathroom. As you can see, another lovely view. For those who are curious,
Opäť okno, ty kokos, každý tam na teba čumí, ty vole, musíš to stále zaťahovať, keď sa budeš sedieť zospkovať alebo čokoľvek. To by mi asi vadilo.
no, we do not shower with it open.
Ale počkaj, vlastne tam asi vidno tam? Neviem, či oni majú presne tie isté okná.
We have a privacy blind that we can put down whenever
No.
we shower, but when we're not in there, it is nice to kind of let some of the light into the hallway. So along with that, we have this vessel sink, additional storage, and nice lights right behind the mirror. And we actually have some more storage over here as well. It's pretty shallow, but you know, better than nothing. And I found out fairly recently that we also have a heater in here. So I put that on when it gets a little chilly, and it's nice to have right when you get out of the shower. And let's do another large reveal.
Oh gosh.
And now my bedroom. I felt that warranted another knock. Come on in.
Pikos. Takže ten výhľad tam mala brutálne.
Welcome to the official Taylor's bedroom tour. So starting off over here, I decided to go ahead and make it all storage. I ordered, how many are here? I ordered a bunch more of the gray boxes to do storage of all kinds. I have it organized. Some are closed, some down here. Get a look over here. I have my technology here, so my microphone, stuff like that, and then some miscellaneous. Some are actually empty, so I have some additional storage for the future. So this is actually brand new. I had the bookshelf like sitting here for a long time, but then actually constructed it. So there's a brand new, net new bookshelf. I put my makeup up here. My voice cracked. But I didn't want this to be the first thing I saw when I walked in because even though it is a little bit more organized since I got little cups and things, it's still not the prettiest thing in the world, so I have it over here. Just some things I did to organize this space a little bit better. Bought some of these tumblers from Target and just, you know, kind of organized it. Like these are the things I use every day. These are some things I don't use every day. And then down here I have my all-time favorite candies. Fantastic. My journal, my pepper spray. It's New York City. And then a couple extra.
Pepper spray, lebo býva v New Yorku, ty kokos. Čo tam má nejakých oných obťažovačov?
Storage bins where I put like my self-care items. So nail polish remover, cotton rounds, things like that. Finally, finishing off with my trash can. And then, you know, paper towel. So nothing crazy, but it works. And moving over here, we have my queen size bed, which I'm very excited about because my first 2 years of college, I had a twin bed, then I had a full bed. This is my first queen bed, and I like it. I feel like a king, a queen in it. And then over here, we have my bedside table, nothing fancy. I will say that, you know, I bought this part on Amazon and it was a little smaller than I liked it. So put this heavy duty tile on top to just extend it, and don't worry, it's like very sturdy. It's not gonna push down. So that just gives me a little bit of extra room. It's kind of this white marble. Pro tip, you can get these tiles for like $1.50 at Home Depot and just, you know, find a place for them. And then in here I just have my necessities.
Čokoládka.
Necessities like melatonin and lotion, and my sleeping mask and cookies. And then down here I have my
Po večeroch chrume normálne. Takže takto.
iPad, my Jimmy Chin coffee table book. I really got like the blue vibe I got going down there. And finally, my happy cup. I call it that, like a 4-year-old vibe because it's yellow. And then of course, T for turtle, you guys know. All right, moving over, where shall we go next? Moving over here, as if it's like a huge room. And moving over here, we have my workspace, which if you guys have seen my videos, you've already seen kind of this area, but here's an official tour. So I will say this puppy is brand spanking new. Put them together last week. Huge, puffy, white kind of goes along with my minimalistic vibe that I've somehow accidentally constructed in this room. But very comfortable. My last one was not comfortable. I got it for free in the building, so how comfy can it really be, you know? I have two kind of sections. The first one, this is for actual work, my consulting job.
Keby som sa vedel, že či ju vidno cez tie okná. Že keď tam napríklad teraz sedí, že či ju akože vidno, alebo že keď sa nachádza v tej miestnosti. Alebo že keď zapáli svetlo, tak určite, ale vieš, keď... Bo reálne napríklad tuto skoro vôbec nevidíš, vieš, do tých okien. Aj tuto, keď sa pozrieš, tak... Dobre, tuto vidno, ale či sú presne toto isté okná, vieš.
Here many hours a day, and I like it. I put it this way because that's my favorite view, the Billionaire's Row, even more so than the
Počkaj, to akože...
I put it this way because that's my favorite view, the Billionaire's Row.
Do piče. Takže tento výhľad má akože mega brutál. Proste vidíš krásnu panorámu, na sebe sa to musí byť, alebo keď je to zasnežené, tak musí byť brutálny výhľad. Akože za 1875, čo platí ona na mesiac, určite teda ešte s nejakou babou, takže platia dokopy nejakých 4700. Za čo už docela chytíš akože pekný beat. 4700. Ale vieš, keď to máš takto na polovicu, zarobíš zhruba nejakých 5,5 a platíš 2000 skoro, 1900, tak ako to je celkom pohodička ešte. Ale akože ten výhľad je brutál, ten je mega.
So this is where I do my actual like consulting job work, and you might notice I have a little space heater down by my feet. Can you see it? Because my little piggies, they get really cold right by the window here in the winter. Moving over to this side, this is for personal use. So this is where I edit my YouTube videos, anything on my personal computer. So.
Jo, to akože nerobí na tomto počítači videa takéto veci. Ty som si myslel, že akože na tomto normálne pracuje a tento má iba taký, že do roboty, vieš, že vybavuje nejaké veci a tak, nejaké objednávky. Doslova by som vlastne na týchto PC robil. Tento by som mal iba tak.
Business. Classic. Business, pleasure. And then I also like to have a little pop of color here. These are dying, but they've lasted a really long time, but they're still really beautiful, and so I like to have flowers there or something. And then I also have little planties kind of around my bedroom. And yeah, there's a couple more things I don't want to forget. I guess right here, I actually made use again of one of these tiles. Same one as over there, the kind of $1.50 marble tile. And then this tissue box just so happens to fit perfectly. And then my lamp, which used to be turned, it was turned this way and it took up too much of the view. So push it all the way back. What else? It's not a big room. There's not like a ton to go over. I have a bunch of little planties here, 6-foot ficus tree. They're all fake, faux, if you will, which means fake in French. And then finally, you can come a little closer for this. And then also have a horseshoe, which has the dirt from the Kentucky Derby racetrack, which I thought was pretty cool. Got it in Kentucky. Almost forgot my closet space. So, like I've kind of mentioned throughout this apartment, the closets are actually really, really large. For New York, okay, not for whatever, anywhere else. I have all my things in here. I have my sweaters, and then I got this kind of hanging shelf to fit more of my like jeans and t-shirts and such.
Zaujímavé, že topánky má hore. To by ma nenapadlo dať. Ako by som dal do nejakých kravíc alebo niečo a tak ich dať hore. Ale iba takto topánky mať hore, tak to ako neviem, či by sa mal. Asi by išli dole v lode, nie?
Got all my shoes down there, some up here, and then like my huge suitcases up there. So plenty of room there, and then let me show you the other side. And then over here, even more things. And it goes up, like I said, really high, to the point you need a step ladder to get up there. So I like having all that room.
Ale akože na babuta nemala nejako extra veľa oblečenia, nie?
And then I have all this voiceover. Stop it! Oh, and then I guess one more thing, because we're just all over the place right now. I have 2 racks for
coats, som čakal, že bude mať úplne že preplnenú tú izbu oblečenie. Ale že mega.
Happening here, but oh, one more thing. There's so much in this ginormous room. There is also, along with all the storage that I already showed you, like all these things, there is plenty room for additional storage under the bed. I have all my tools.
Klasika boxy.
And there's some other things too, so that's nice. Pro tip, I guess, if you live in a small
To by
space,
som si mal
make sure
kúpiť
your
aj ja
bedroom
inak.
is somewhat
Také
elevated, so you could put things underneath it. Any other details there?
Ale skôr som zastancom týchto boxov. Videl som už dokonca aj takéto boxy, že mali už aj taký vrch, taký plastový. Sa mi zdá, že plastový vrch to mal. Videl som už aj s dreveným, ale skôr s tým plastovým by som to asi skôr bral. Ale skôr som tieto látkové boxy sú lepšie. Áno, keď chceš niečo prenášať, tak samozrejme tie veľké boxy, ale keď chceš iba taký úložný priestor, tak tieto sú také ideál, vieš, to točíš hoci kde, poskladaš to, vieš, keď náhodou to nebudeš nejak potrebovať, tak si to proste, dá sa to zložiť, čo je úplne super za mňa.
Maybe that you're amphibian?
Baby. Fancy tequila. And while I'm thinking about it, a question that I get all the time is, do you feel no sense of privacy with those windows? Can people see in? During the day, there is a pretty much complete reflection on the windows that no, you can't really see in at all. At night, of course, if you have your lights on and your blinds are still retracted, then yes, you can see in. But of course, I close my blinds when I need to close my blinds. So I waited a long time to film this apartment tour. I actually moved in 6 months ago, but I took my sweet time getting it furnished, getting it somewhat decorated, and I didn't want to just show you my bare bones bedroom. Still feels pretty bare bones, but you know what I mean. And truth be told, it is still not done. I think that some of the main things that will make this place feel a little more homey and cozy is adding some art pieces to the wall above my bed. Again, we have 12-foot ceilings, so it's just a lot of white space right now. And then I'll probably add a rug underneath my bed just to make it feel more cozy and homey, so I'll keep you guys updated when I actually do that. How much does all of this cost, you might wonder? Well, it was a COVID deal, so we got 2 months free, which brought our net effective rate for the whole place to $3,600 per month, and because I have a roommate and constructed that flex wall that I showed you, I pay $1,875 per month net effective, which for this view and everything is very good in New York. You might not think it is, but it is. Uh-oh. Okay. Well, that's it. Thank you, Vogue, for coming to look at my bedroom, and until next time.
Takže mňa by zaujímalo, že koľko ona robí, keď si platí potom 1875 mesačne. To by som chcel vedieť, že koľko zarobí.